everyone. Welcome to the SAICE CEO podcast, which will focus around mentorship. We are joined today by Zulfa Taibi from WSP. And welcome, Zulfa.
Hi, welcome. Thank you. I'm Zulfa. I'm the marketing and marcoms person in WSP in Africa. So that's our portfolio. And yeah, welcome to our offices, Gadi.
Thank you. They look stunning. I think they're stunning and modern.
Thank you.
How long have you been with WSP for?
I've been officially just over a year.
Okay.
I joined us last year. So yeah, but I've been in the industry and now I'm giving away my age. Well, about 30 years. Yeah.
Okay, it does not look like it.
Thank you. I'm going to own it and take that compliment. So yes, been in the industry for about 3 years. Started my journey fresh out of school. Started my own business. Was the first female construction company in South Africa back in the day before all the BEE and transformation. And then after that, I became the first female director on a listed company, construction company's board, and then my career just took off from then.
Very interesting. So what made the transition for you from construction to marketing? If you can take us through that.
So obviously having started my own business and having my own construction company as an entrepreneur, that's what you do. You market your business, you market what you do, your expertise, so that you can get work, win work, be known in the industry. So yeah, marketing and business development is obviously part of that.
Yes.
And then when I joined Grinica LTA. So I've had just a few, I think 4 employees in that span of my career. I joined Grinica LTA as a business development manager. I became the transformation director there. I then joined Stephanie Stocks. I was a business developer and marketing manager there. And then from there I went to SMEC and then IW and now WSP. So the whole journey was about, my whole career and journey was about marketing, business development. Back in the day, it was obviously not as hip and happening as it is today with digital marketing and social media. But it's the same concept, just in a different format.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So today we want to look at mentorship and how it affects people in their professional journey. And I'm interested to know about you in the various factors that you've been in the construction industry, in your own company, the role that mentorship has played to shape you to be who you are now.
Thank you. That's a very interesting journey. So I'll start off by saying when I started my own construction company, when I went to go and enroll, a gentleman said to me, you know what, this program is not really for women. There are no women enrolling, so you'll be the first. So I would have thought that I would not have a male as my mentor. But as life had it in my career, all my line managers were males at the time. So the first time was Ian Ferguson. And they, without knowing, I adopted them as my mentor, and they taught me. So it was Ian Ferguson, still around in the industry, Russell Crawford, who's now the CEO of Stephen & Stocks, my current boss, Paul Grotter, and then my other boss in the UK, Natalie. So she's a female, the others were all males, but I adopted them as my mentors without them knowing, because I thought they're my line managers and I'm going to learn from them. And the journey was about people. I found that these mentors and line managers of mine taught me that people are important, and giving back to the community and to your employees and to the industry is important. And they did it naturally, and I ended up doing it naturally, and that sort of just spurred me on just to grow, never say no, because they never said no to me. If I wanted to learn and progress, they were my mentors. They allowed me to do it. They still allow me to do it. When I make mistakes, they teach me, and it's a natural thing because they do it. So Ian, I don't know if he still does it, but he used to do it in his free time. He just did that. That's what he did on Saturdays and Sundays. He went to mentor engineers, young engineers. Russell is now the CEO. If you message Russell 11 o'clock at night, he'll message you back and say, I'll action it. Paul is about, my current boss is also about people matter. Natalie in the UK, she's a bit more strict. She's like us, she's a lady. She's strict and she's very prim and proper in terms of what I must deliver, but she's also about the people. And I think if young engineers understand that we're all humans in the environment and in the industry, and that we're dealing with humans, and as much as we're going AI and digital, it's that human touch. You've got to just reach out and select what you want. Take the good, take the bad, take the good, and I grew from point A to point Z, just growing my career because of the line managers that I adopted as my mentors. I know that there's a more structured approach now, and youngsters should be sure that they reach out and ask for mentorship. You can't just sit and wait, and you mustn't make excuses that no, the mentors don't have time or they're not available. They are available. You just need to reach out to them, and make sure that you are ticking the tick boxes that you want as an engineer growing in your career. Not the mentor is there to help support, but if you're not going to tell them what you want, you're not going to get what you want.
Yeah. And I find like with today's generation, people don't really know what they want.
Yes.
So it is very hard to get what you want if you don't know yourself. Do you have any suggestions, any pointers with regards to that?
Know your journey and know your end goal, and where you want to be, because that defines what you want. So if you want to be the CEO of WSP and you're 23 and you're 25, you've just started, you need to have those steps in place. This is what I'm going to do. And sometimes it's not easy. It's life. Life's not easy, but life can be fun and easy at times. If you need to go out there and be clear of what you want, because then you can knock on the door and open the door and don't take no for an answer. If you're undecided, you're going to have excuses of why you didn't get that professional registration, or why 10 years later in your career you're not professionally registered. I'm about, and I sound very hip and happening when I say this, it's just the opportunities are there, and the pioneers and visionaries and trailblazers, it's all the new words that WSP has, but it's been something that I've been doing in my life. We are there to assist you. Obviously in my space, I'm more the client engagement and the business development and the marketing, but the engineers at our level with our experience, they're there. You need to reach out to them and say, this is what I want. You shouldn't make excuses.
True, that is very true. So do you think that was one of the values that propelled you forward when you started in the construction industry? I'm actually quite curious about your journey in the construction industry. When you came there and you were told you're a woman, why are you applying to this? How did you navigate that space? And how did you also navigate finding a mentor and reaching out to someone to come and assist you along your journey?
So again, I probably, how do I answer that? So when the gentleman's name was Clive Fontaine, I won't forget, who said this to me, but having told me that, you know what, no woman, this is not a program for women. No woman has registered for it. It was called the Emerging Contractor Development Program. Public Works Department had it at the time. He didn't stop me. He said, okay, let's try it and let's see. And then he gave me my first little projects to do. And it was the most difficult projects in the most outlying areas. I was in Cape Town at the time. And I did it. And he said to me, these are the rules of engagement. You can't have a subcontractor, and you have to go do this. And I said, yes, no, Clive, we'll do it. My thing is, yes, I'll do it, and I'll figure it out afterwards. And I had a whole lot of subcontractors go and do the stuff for me because I knew the industry, and I did it, and I got through. They had 3 phases. They had one where you started 1,000 to 20,000 project, and then I passed that, and then you put me into the next phase, 20,000 to 200,000. And then 200,000 to 2 million, where I wasn't succeeding simply because businesses at the time, non-white businesses, construction companies, could not tender for work over 100,000. So I knocked that door down as well, because I have that attitude. I'm not going to say no. And I mean, I'm not a superwoman person. It's challenging, but you mustn't give up, and you mustn't take no for an answer, and you mustn't have excuses, and you mustn't roll over and play dead. The other thing is also, what I found was that and I specifically said males, because I still hear this in 2025. Us women, we're not getting opportunities, we're oppressed, there's the divide, and there's the salaries, and there's... Guys, that's all the white noise, girls. You just have to see what the opportunities are available for you, what rights you have, and seize it, and just do it. And then I became the first director at Grinica Altea. I was a female of color, but I never experienced those dynamics of discrimination, gender, probably because I just had blinkers and a clothes. Because I was focused on growing my career, having taken this opportunity that was not afforded to us at the time. When I started BE, it wasn't even around. It was affirmative action. There wasn't even CIDB. There wasn't even the construction industry scorecard. So there was tools and opportunities that the country and life afforded us and me, and I just took it. And that's what I want to tell the youngsters. Guys, there are tools and opportunities available. It's up to you to grab it. Forget about all the white noise and just run with the ball. Otherwise, you're going to sit where you are behind the motor car.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Complaining.
Yeah, too much complaints.
So how do you think, as senior female leaders and senior male leaders and mentors to the younger generation, we can position ourselves with companies like WSP or SAICE to ensure that we have these mentorship programs going on and be those mentors for the next generation?
Collaborations. You stressed it at your partnership breakfast the other day. One of your speakers spoke about the bridge. There was just talk about the bridge, the building of the bridge, the crossing of the bridge. Crossing of the bridge, not staying on the bridge. So we've built the bridges as senior people. We now need to make sure that these people and the youngsters actually cross to the other side. And there are so many systems available in the spaces like WSP and all the other big, companies like us.
Tell me more about that, like your tools within your particular...
So we've got a graduate program, and it's specific to every discipline and in the business unit. So if it's mechanical or civil, there's a program for the graduates that join us. You've also seen our recent varsity road shows. So that's for final year students. And then UCT and SAICE has asked us to collaborate with them for a first year student program, which will then cover all the anomalies that we have by the time the engineers get to us and get to other even our competitors, for example. So, in terms of mentorship opportunities, transfer of skills. So WSP's leaders and senior people would offer, the mentorship, the skills that's needed, the gaps. I was very interested to hear these students were asking, who are your clients and what are your bigger projects? And I said to them, it's the second time I'm hearing this. Why are you youngsters, why are you interested in our clients? I would have thought bursaries. They want to know who the clients are and how clients are engaged. And we've got an excellent client engagement program that's run by our senior leaders in WSP to offer them. There's so many things, yes, Safari. And collaborations with industry bodies like yourself and SAICE, that's where the whole plan of action starts to assist with mentorship.
Yeah. So, did you find in your personal career journey, other mentorship programs outside of, your formal work environment that were quite helpful for you? Did you maybe go for leadership development programs and things of that sort?
So in my career as an employee, the company wherever I was obviously offered outside leadership training. So we've got that at WSP. Stephanie Stocks, when I was there, sent me on a whole lot of leadership programs, directors programs, anything to do with building leadership and mentorship. So I would lie to you if I tell you that I know many external programs. I chose to take whatever was in-house. It was offered in-house because we were mothers, we had children, we have husbands, it's time, there's so many things to do besides working, that work-life balance that everybody's talking about. It worked for me to take the internal tools, whatever leadership programs there were internally, whatever mentorship programs there were, whatever was available to enhance my growth in my career. I'm not saying that external mentorship doesn't help, but certainly it's more convenient for some of us to just, and I mean, employees, WSP employees are offering this to the employees, so why not seize the moment? And industry bodies like yourself, you're reaching out and we're setting these things up for the youngsters to grab onto. There's no excuse. There's no long excuses.
Exactly.
You
No,
know?
I'm glad that you said that, and thank you very much for acknowledging the work that we are doing in that space. I'm still interested in parts of your journey. So what kind of projects did you do in your construction life?
Gosh. So they ranged from the very last one I did. So I'm an entrepreneur at heart.
Yeah.
I really admire and love people that entrepreneurs that go out there and do it and they succeed, because I started my journey off as that. So when I left Stephen Stocks, I wanted to go and start up my own construction company again. And I want to tell you, they held my hand for a year until I got on my feet again in my construction company. Which
That
I
is a
did.
form of mentorship as well.
That is a form of mentorship. They held my hand for almost more than a year. I didn't suffer the anomalies of I'm a startup business now, I don't have cash, I don't have income. And then I went to start up my own business again. I did SAICE SA. I was a nominated subcontractor, the one in Pretoria, that was about 30 million. And then I struggled to find work. So as much as a marketer as I am and a business developer, I struggled with getting that momentum going for consistency. And then the last project I did was 120 million. That was on Karankua, the university. SUM it used to be called. Yes, the medical.
Yes.
That was the last one. So I've done projects over 100 million with the latest project. I started with a 1,200 rand project.
Yo, that is amazing.
Actually, that was my very first project in my life, 1,200 rand. And I ended up with the last projects manager actually was about 120 million. And through that journey, I mean, the client was fabulous. I mean, as a woman on site, and I never had, and we were locked up in containers. We had the construction mafia, we had threats, I was threatened, all of those dynamics that you hear that's in our industry that consulting engineers are facing. I've gone through all of that, been there, done that, have the matching t-shirts, still standing. And my message, it's not bragging. I call it bragging rights, but it's to tell people out there and the youngsters out there, everything and anything is possible. You know, you just have to keep at it and not give up. And not doubt yourself or not think to yourself, sure, is it just me? So that was the last project I did. Closed eyes, by the way. We were on time, in budget, and I was the principal on site. And then I said, never again. I'm not doing this.
Were you done with the sun?
I was done with the sun. I worked through COVID. I was doing a development in Roslo. It was for a prime developer. We were on site every day. I watched my site agents and people pass away around me on that.
From COVID.
But we worked, and I never suffered the issues of COVID really, because I had work. I consistently just kept going. And then I said, that's it. And then, I said that's it, but then I ended up on site. I love site, I won't lie to you. I love the whole, when you start something from nothing, and by the time you finish, there's this whole building, or there's this whole new renovation done, and you think, wow, I was behind this, I made this happen. And then I said, no, now I'm going back to my corporate space. So I always tell my colleagues, I brag, I'm this corporate beast. I know the ins and outs, because that I had to then pull myself towards myself in my career and decide, right, you need to make a choice, entrepreneur or corporate. And I chose corporate, and that's where I am. And I'm managing.
And I've got a lot of respect for you for that.
Thank you.
I really do. So currently in your role, are you in charge of your graduate programs and all the mentorship with the young people within WSP?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm the driver of it in terms of the marketing and getting it out there. So we're obviously attracting talent, and we want to show people and the community and the industry out there that we're the best place to work for. So these are the things that I market our mentorship program. But now we've got, we've got our engineers and our leads that are running these programs internally. The engineers, the ones that matter more at times. So they run the programs with the graduates, and obviously the VAC work and all of those things. I'm the brand custodian. I call myself the brand bunny. I love our brand, so I go and market and go and tell the varsities and industry bodies what we're about, what we offer, why we're the best place to work for.
That is awesome, Zulfa. I think, I've learned a lot from your journey about mentorship, about believing in yourself, about not making excuses, about having values, knowing who you are. And when you know who you are, no one can come and tell you who you are. I also, from a SAICE perspective, want to really honor WSP for the commitment towards our future leaders and ensuring that you playing your part in ensuring that we've got a pipeline of skills within the country to offer, especially with the young people coming out of universities and the likes, and Africa being such a young generation. So I really want to honor WSP, the work that you're doing, your passion as well. And as SAICE, we do commit ourselves to collaborating more with you throughout 2025 and beyond.
Thank you.
Thank you as well for availing yourself.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Pleasure. Anytime. I must say your SAICE student chapters, they're quite aggressive at the university. So they start off and I'm just SAICE, guys, we're talking all engineering now. No, they're so organized. Oh my gosh, I had the photos in seconds. Very structured and marketing with a brand, with the SAICE t-shirts. You'll see the photos.
Oh, that is beautiful. I'm so proud of them.
Yeah,
we really do believe in our future leaders. So I'm really grateful to hear that.
Okay.
Thank you, Zulfa.
Thank you, Sukadi.
That is us signing out of our next installment of the podcast, the CEO's podcast, on mentorship, on the skills pipeline, and the effects of mentorship on one's career. Thank you.